everyone, welcome to this practice. Today we're going to be focusing on stretching out our upper back body. So think trapezius muscles, rhomboids, and latissimus dorsi. So our entire upper body is going to be stretched out today. Now a nice counter practice to pair with this is a heart opening practice. That will feel so good to get your chest nice and open, your upper back nice and open, and that promotes balance and a nice tall posture. Let's go ahead and get started. Come to Sukhasana. So shift around in your seat, find your sits bones till you feel rooted and grounded. Take a moment to check in with your spinal alignment. So stacking your heart over your pelvis, your head over your heart. Make sure your chin isn't jetting forward. Gently pull the head back to align it over the spine. Good. Take your hands out to the side. We're going to tent our fingers. Go ahead and drop the chin towards the chest now to get a stretch through the upper back and the neck. Big breath in here. And exhale, bring that right ear to the right shoulder. Big breath in, exhale all the way to center, left ear, left shoulder. Switch sides. And switch. Good, come back to center, neutralize the spine. Bring the left hand behind you. It can just fold behind your back or maybe reach for that right arm. Then take the right ear to the right shoulder. So stretching that left upper trapezius muscle. Breathing into that space. After you've found about 3 rounds of breath on that side, go ahead and switch. So right hand comes behind your back. This is actually a little heart opener for you too. Maybe you hook onto that left arm, but we're working on drawing the shoulder down away from that ear to get a nice stretch in that upper trapezius. Drop left ear to left shoulder. Find about 3 rounds of breath here. You can close your eyes or have a soft gaze, whatever makes you feel at ease. After you finish that 3rd round of breath, go ahead, bring the head back to neutral. We're gonna take that right arm up overhead, bend the elbow, option to just push that arm back like this, or to grab onto the top of the elbow with the left hand. So you're taking that right hand down your back or down in that direction. You want that elbow to be skyward. Sometimes we don't have that range of motion, so this is great too. Once you're there, we're gonna take that elbow up and over. So right elbow's coming over towards that left side, getting a great side stretch right here. You wanna make sure you're looking forward, not down. You're pressing the head into the arm. Nice, tall posture. Breathe into that space. This is also a great heart opener. So we are getting our heart openers into this practice, whether we like it or not. All right, come on to center. Go ahead, switch arms. So bending the left elbow, right hand takes that elbow into hand. Again, nice and tall. You can drop that hand down the spine if that feels okay to you, or again, push that arm up. In that case, you're gonna look more like this, and that's okay as long as your neck is nice and neutral. Good, bring that arm up and over now to the right side, stretching through this side body here. Even while you're here, Be focused on that core engagement, keeping that left hip anchored. Might want to come up, make sure that left hip stays nice and anchored as your weight shifts. Good. Come on back to center. We're going to loop the shoulders a few times. Those stretches can be quite intense, and then we're going to make our way to all fours. So get there however you need to, whether you just roll over the knees or side saddle the legs over. Join me in all fours. Knees are beneath the hips, wrists are beneath the shoulders. All 10 fingers are spread out to support our weight. We're actively pressing out of the mat so we have nice integrity in the spine and a nice long neck here. Head into some cat-cow. So inhale, drops the belly, spreads the sit bones, gaze forward. Exhale, curve the spine, tuck the chin, and really focus on actively pressing the earth away from you to stretch through the upper back body. Good, a few more times like that. Drop the belly down. Curve the spine. Drop the belly. Last one, curve the spine. Beautiful. We're gonna tuck the toes now here. Lift the hips nice and slow to a downward facing dog. Always, this is how I teach it. Work on that upper body first. So if your head's sticking out here, bend your knees more. Get your head in line with the biceps, ears in line with the biceps, actively pressing into the earth with not just the heels of your hands, but also the 10 fingers. And then pedal out. Then worry about the lower half. We want to aim for a nice long spine here. If you're having a lot of rounding, you might have to take your feet and walk them out a little further away. It is helpful to maybe video record yourself or check your form in a mirror here. Just looking for length both sides. Think of yourself as a triangle. Once you found length in the legs, let's step those feet wide and then take your right hand over to that left calf, shin, ankle, wherever it lands so you can find a gentle twist. Breathe into the back body, opening up the shoulder blade, breathing into the tight spaces. And we'll switch. I'm also feeling the stretch in my outer hip. Been doing a lot of bar lately. A lot of lateral lifting, glute work. Feels pretty good. All right, come back to center. We're gonna walk those feet back in. The right leg's gonna lift up towards the sky, coming to our three-legged dog. Step through. And we're gonna come to a kneeling lunge. And today we're gonna stay in our kneeling lunge because I really wanna focus on the upper body here. So you can uncurl those back toes. If you ever wanna revisit this practice and make this a crescent lunge where you're focusing more on strengthening the legs and balance, you can totally do that. You can do that with any practice. You can make it more intense with weights or just use your creativity. Do what you enjoy. Okay, so arms are gonna open up, chest is gonna open up, then right arm's gonna go underneath the left. We can hug here, walk our fingertips back towards those shoulder blades. See if you can hook onto them to just peel them open, create that space in the middle of the back. Or you can find eagle arms, so hooking onto the thumb if possible. Now when you're in crescent lunge, even here, this is a strengthening move. Your legs are working, don't get me wrong. But when you're in crescent lunge, you're working even harder to maintain balance. But I love the range of motion that we get when we're in this lunge for eagle arms. So what I'm gonna have you do is lift, 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 lift those elbows up. Keep the thumbs away from the head. Maybe you find a gentle back bend. And then lower, 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 lower. Nice and easy, nice and slow. We're gonna find an inhale as we rise up. Big breath in. I always like to inhale on the lengthen and then exhale as you come down. One more time. And exhale. Beautiful. Come back to neutral. Release the bind. And then come on down to frame the foot. We're gonna tuck those back toes back under. Step that right foot back to meet the left and take it to downward facing dog. I resisted. I really wanted to do a vinyasa there, but I'm like, let's work on opening ourselves up rather than tightening ourselves up. Not that vinyasas make you super tight. They are great for just warming up the whole body and strengthening, but I really want to focus on these stretches. Let's lift the left leg. This is still pretty intense work we're doing here, even though it's more stretch related. All right, drop the back knee, untuck the toes, bring yourself to that kneeling lunge. We're gonna open the arms up again, draw the core in, nice and balanced. Left hand goes under the right this time, so either hugging or finding those eagle arms. Once you have the eagle arms, let's see if you can draw the thumbs away from the face. Here we go into that flow. We'll inhale, lift, 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 lift. Gentle back bend, exhale, lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower, finding a flow with that breath. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. This is our third and last one. Then we will lift back up to neutral. Release the bind, open the arms, and then come on down to frame the foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift the knee, and step the left foot back to meet the right. Hips are lifted. We're gonna drop to the knees here. Go ahead and drop the hips back towards the heels. I'm gonna have you walk your hands all the way over to the right. So you're coming off the mat. Left hand then is gonna stack on top of the right. See if you can interlace those fingers. Then gently tug that left arm over towards the right side. Relax your head between the arms and see if you can get a nice deep stretch in your lats. So I think a lot of times you think of lats as just the side body. Like if you do a lot of pull-ups, you get sore here, right? But really your lats is all the way up your body, up your back body. So large muscle group you're working with here. The lats, the rhomboids, the trapezius. You have upper trapezius, lower trapezius. So breathe into that space, feel that opening. Go ahead, come on over to the other side. Hands walk over to the left. Right fingers interlace with the left, and you're gently pulling the left arm over. Breathing. The more you drop in here, like if you drop that right armpit down as you're tugging overhead, you're really gonna get deep into that stretch. So play with that movement, just subtle tweaks in our stretch till you find the sweet spot, till you're feeling a great stretch. Now sometimes like you'll be instructed to do something, you're like, I just don't feel it. I don't feel it yet. And then you'll make these subtle tiny tweaks or changes and you're like, oh, there it is. That's what I want you to find. I want you to find what works in your body. All right, so let's come back to center, reach the right arm up, and we're gonna thread the needle. So I'm gonna lift the hips up to more of a puppy pose in this, just my preference. You can stay in the child's pose, but for some reason I feel it more when I have my hips lifted. So coming onto that right shoulder, you want to look for space. Make sure you have space between the right ear and right shoulder. You're not like creeping those shoulders up towards the ear. Looking for space. Breathing into the space behind the right shoulder blade. These are the kinds of stretches where you can just utilize the breath. Breath is so important. Go ahead, come to the right hand, thread through with the left. Use that breath, concentrate on it. Think of where you're sending that breath. Where do you feel the tightest, the sorest, the most tension? Visualize that place, send the breath there. Let that breath massage out that tension. Release it. Mind-body connection brings you totally into the present moment, into your body. And interoception. Proprioception is like where your body is in space. Like, where's your arm right now? Where's your leg? Interoception is when you're really thinking about what's going on inside the body. Good. Come back to center. I'm going to have you now drop your forearms down to the ground. Bring your hands to prayer. And then drop that chest down, thumbs towards the nape of the neck. Digging those elbows in, another great heart opener, but you're also stretching the lats here, the triceps too. Beautiful. Go ahead and make your way back to a seated position. There's one more thing I really want to do with you guys because I just love the feel of this one. So go ahead and stick your left leg out, bend your right knee in, and then cross your right foot over your left leg. You're nice and flexed and active in this left foot. Left arm's gonna hug this knee in, giving us another yummy stretch on that right side. And then we're gonna swim this left arm around and back, finding a spinal twist. You can hold on to that leg with the arm, but don't feel like you have to be like cranking into this. Try to relax into this. And if you wanna add a little bit more opening, if it's available, you can bring that left arm in front of the right knee. Gently twist, elongating the spine and breathing. Half Lord of the Fishes. One of my favorite pose names. Every time I say that name, I think, I'm gonna look that up. Why is it called Half Lord of the Fishes? And then by the time I get off my mat, I'm too zenned out to remember to look it up, and I never have looked it up, so. If you drop me a little reminder in the boga thread, maybe I'll remember. Right leg extends, left leg crosses over the right now. Flex that foot, don't forget about it. Hug that left knee in, left arm comes back, elongate the spine, shoulders away from the ears. You can send your gaze back. And then if you want to find a little bit more opening of that right shoulder blade, and it'll take you a little deeper into that twist, you can bring the elbow in front of the knee. Again, be careful not to crank yourself into this. See if you can release some tension. Think of this practice as maintenance. Maintenance on your body. Taking time to stretch. You can come back to center. To massage those muscles with the breath. to come into the present moment, and to just reconnect with your body. That's it for today, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me. The light in me honors the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.